To the moon or doom? That's going to be the topic of this morning's video. I'm just going to discuss some of my thoughts and tell you guys some of the macroeconomic things that are happening in this space. And the idea is that after that, you can put all the pieces together and make up your own mind whether you're expecting crypto and Bitcoin to go up or to go down in the short to medium term. Good morning, everybody. Now, we all know that the American government is pumping trillions of dollars into the US economy and thereby the world economy to try and make sure that the stock markets don't fall. Now, a lot of people are saying that this cannot continue to happen because the US is just randomly printing money. We know it as quantitative easing, but it is being done to make sure that everyone has access to money and that the economy doesn't fall. My views on that are very, very controversial. I believe that the US can continue to do this and that there is not going to become a day where everything falls. Now, I know, and I've had discussions with many people, and they've said to me that who is going to pay back this debt, and you can't carry on printing money and just randomly printing money. But there's a lot of smart people that are doing this, and it is, at this point, still working. All the major crises that we've seen, the financial crises, the one that comes in mind and that I was very much aware of because I was of an age to understand it, was the 2008 crash, where printing money and messing with interest rates certainly just smoothed things over and got things going again. And of course, we have seen the economy in a decline for many, many years, but there are a lot of factors that do that. So let's talk about the Bitcoin price. The Bitcoin price on Altcoin Trader is 140,000 Rand per Bitcoin, which I believe, with us facing this current pandemic and everything that's going on in the world, with everything just battling, that is really, really good. Bitcoin, and by Bitcoin, I mean crypto, is doing very, very well. And I am quite amazed, to be honest, to see this high price. On CoinMarketCap, we've got Bitcoin trading at $7,318 US with a 64% dominance. Now that's important because there's over 5,000 cryptos and 64% of the value of all cryptocurrencies is held in Bitcoin. So that certainly speaks to how big Bitcoin is. But I digress. So we have the US government pumping in stimulus to the tune of $2 trillion US. Then we have Tether doing something similar. In March, we can see that the Tether being printed was to the tune of 2 billion. I don't know if that's coincidence, but it's something that is just weird to know. So if we have a look at the S&P 500 index, we can see that it's had its fall off and it's currently, climbing back. This chart represents obviously the stimulus that is being pumped in by the American government. Now, an interesting thing is that if we start looking at the Bitcoin chart, it looks very similar. We can see that it also is gone up and is starting to recover. Now, what I'd like to point out here is that a rising tide lifts all boats. So I've been very verbal saying that the stock market and the traditional markets and the crypto markets are not correlated. But having a look at the charts, it just is clear that they do seem to be correlated. Let's take this a little bit further. Let's look at the fear and greed index. We can see that there is still extreme fear in the market. People are very, very scared to invest in crypto, with it being a speculative asset. Obviously, there's a lot of fear not only in the crypto market but in the general economy. So I think this indicator is indicative of the fear that we are experiencing everywhere. Now, let's talk about the Bitcoin halving, because we've seen the markets moving in correlation, but the Bitcoin halving is something that is going to change a lot of things. We've seen this happen historically, although historically we've never really seen a massive pump or drop at the time of the halving. It normally takes place a couple of months later. But I just want to go over the halving and what it really means to the inflation of Bitcoin. At the moment, we have 12.5 Bitcoins being produced every 10 minutes by miners. So let's times that by 6 to make it every hour, and then let's times that by 24 to make it every day. This means that we have 1,800 Bitcoins being produced every day. So let's times that by the amount of it costs for 1 Bitcoin in rands, 140,000. This gives us a figure of 252 million rands worth of Bitcoins being produced every day. Now just get a handle on this. That means that we have to have 252 million rand pumped into the Bitcoin economy every day, assuming the miners sell their coins. So that is your competition. Anyone who knows about inflation or economy knows about that this is Bitcoin inflation. So after the halving, which is a mere 35 days away, we halve that figure. That means we only need 126 million rand to be pushed into the Bitcoin economy every day to keep the price stable. So that really just indicates that it is unlikely, with the item becoming so scarce, that the price is not going to move upwards. We've seen halvings in the past, but this is the most extreme halving if you relate it to value, and that's why we could see something changing dramatically. So we've got the Bitcoin halving, we've got the correlation with the S&P 500 and the general traditional markets. So this would mean that it does seem that Bitcoin, crypto, and the whole crypto ecosphere is correlated with the current economy, but more specifically with the current stock markets. I think one of the main reasons for this is that Bitcoin is still in its infancy. And when I say in its infancy, I'm not specifically talking about time, because we know Bitcoin is 11 years old. I'm talking about market cap. We are only on 208 billion US dollars for the entire crypto market cap, not Bitcoin, the entire crypto market cap, where we've got gold that is 7 to 8 trillion. Just to give you some idea of how small cryptocurrencies, specifically Bitcoin, is in the global economy. So with this all in mind, I think that it would be fair in conclusion to say, if you can see the traditional stock markets falling and plummeting, don't think Bitcoin is totally uncorrelated and Bitcoin is simply going to survive the massive crash that potentially could be coming. So with that in mind, and with all these factors that we've got, use these factors to just start working out a strategy. Some of the things that I've done is I've moved some of my portfolio into precious metals, being gold and silver, because that seems to be a true safe haven, although the upside is not as good as we used to with traditional cryptos, Bitcoins and so on. We used to huge returns. Gold is a lot more stable, a lot slower, but a lot safer, in my opinion. Now, of course, guys, you know that this is not financial advice. I'm simply sharing my opinion and pointing out a couple of factors so that you can start to form your own opinions and your own ideas. It will be interesting to know, so drop a comment below. Do you believe that in the short to medium term we can expect Bitcoin to be going up, or are we expecting a downturn? I am at this stage cautiously optimistic about Bitcoin, about cryptocurrencies. I continue to rand cost average in. I don't want to miss the opportunity to buy any dips that are going to be coming up. I do believe long term, as always, fundamentals are absolutely in place and we can expect to see amazing things. Guys, that's it from me. Just my thoughts, just some general commentary. If you like what you hear on this channel, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. That's it from me. I'm out.